Years ago, a visitor came to our church and after worship asked me if she could receive some counseling. Her husband had died about 5 years earlier and she was still in disarray. Her whole life was upside down. She was emotionally distraught. She was still in this state of shock for 5 years. Well, I met with her, did some counseling, and it was pretty apparent to me really fast that she had never really properly mourned for her husband. She had a young son and she thought she had to be strong and tough for him. So she kind of suppressed the emotion. And so she was in this constant state of hurt and pain and loss. And when I met with her, I said, okay, this is my encouragement for you. There's two things you need. One, you need a renewed relationship with God. You need to be in God's word. You got to be in Bible study, be in worship, surround yourself with a Christian community that can support you and uphold you and help you. And I said, you have to redo your year of firsts because you suppressed all of your emotions. They're still there. They're still hurting you and paining you. You haven't released them. And so I walked her through every single big milestone of a year that she'd have to be very open and honest about. The first Christmas, the first Easter, the first 4th of July, Thanksgiving, the first time that you go to that restaurant where he proposed, the first birthday, the first anniversary, the first time you go to this park with that memory, or this trip over here with that memory, to go through all of those first, open, honest, letting the emotions come out, because tears are okay. God built us to have tears come out. Jesus wept, and he's going to raise Lazarus, and yet he wept because the emotion came out. If you're hurting in your life, and your loved one died years ago, and there's still this ache, a deep pain that's there, you need a renewed relationship with God. Go next level in your study of God's word, next level in being in worship on a consistent basis, and you also need to redo your year of firsts. Go to that place where it is hard to go. And when you're there, if you cry, then cry. Always have those tears. They're okay, but God promises he will give you peace. There's a section of God's word I share constantly with people who are in loss, and it's Matthew chapter 11. Jesus says, come to me when you're weary, when you're burdened, and I will give you rest. If you're emotionally destroyed and suppressing those emotions, you don't have rest. But Jesus says, if you come to me, you will have what you desire so much. You will have rest. And then he explains how. Yoke yourself to me. That the yoke is a wooden beam that connects two animals together. And God says, yoke yourself to me. I will pull you. I will move you. I will help you go through the emotions of what you need to on those year of firsts, because when you do that with me, there's peace, there's trust, and I'll change your perspective. I'll change you so that you thank me for the blessing I gave to your loved one in that person. You'll thank me for the blessing I give to you in my mercy and my forgiveness. Yoke yourself to Christ as you go through your year first, and then God will change you. He'll change you from a feeling of loss towards and then into a feeling of thankfulness for what God gave.